from getting the scholarship? What's the process, the whole process of it?
So that's a great question. So essentially, parents don't realize this, but they are telling their kids' story, whether they know it or not. Every time they go to a camp, when they send their highlight tape out, when they make their huddle profile, they don't realize it, but it's all about effectively putting the data out there online and then making sure that the right people see it. And so this whole business came about because I noticed that there was a problem that kids in small towns and kids in the city of Chicago, the third largest city in the country, were getting overlooked. And so I was thinking, okay, so if a kid goes to every single recruiting camp, pays for these handlers to talk to college coaches for them, they're getting seen. But what about the other 90% of kids? And I'm friends with the college coaches too. And so I talked to them and I'm like, what are the issues in your life when you're recruiting? And it's a mess for them too. Tracking thousands of kids, everybody's profile's got fake data on it. You know, every kid's 300 pounds on huddle, right? And max preps. Every kid's got a 40-inch vertical. And so it's not just families that are having issues. You know, I saw that the title of your tease today was "Recruiting is a Mess." That's true for both sides. It's a mess for families. They got to pay airfare, gas, meals. They got to pay $300 to get in the camp. Then they got to pay $100 to get the footage on top of that. But it's also a mess for these college coaches who they've got families themselves and they're working 14-hour days trying to filter through these profiles. So I developed 3D athletes so that I could solve problems for both people. So you ask, what does the process look like for recruiting? It's making sure that you connect people with value with coaches that are looking for kids with those values. And so I'm just connecting the two sides like this in a way that's both tells the kids full story, so their character, not just their skills, but also solves problems for the college coach. Okay, yeah, you're 300 pounds. Let's see video of you stepping on a scale. So I do. That's what happens in the video. Oh, you run a 4.6? Okay, prove it. Come to a camp. Well, I can't drive 8 hours, but I can send you a video clip of me running a 40. Would that work? Yeah, that would work.
Right.
So you see, it saves money for the families and it saves time for the coaches. So I'm just providing that connection point for them.
Saving money and time. That's
Cool.
that's very important, man. You know, you have a lot of kids that play sports, and a lot of them don't get selected, man.
No.
So you see them everywhere, but on the football field.
Right.
So,
I mean, New Orleans is one of the obviously you know this much better than me. That's one of the most fertile recruiting grounds in the world, and yet there's still kids at big schools like Carver that get overlooked, and that's just the reality of the world. And so it's my mission to change that.
man, that's pretty awesome, man. As far as funds, how much does it cost for you to have to create the video and everything? So if a parent said, if I was a parent, my son played football, and I was like, well, Gordon, this sounds like a great idea.
Right.
You know, how much it's gonna cost me as a parent? I know how much they're charging, but how much you gonna charge me to do this?
Yeah, so right now you can go on 3dathlete.me. There are discounts if you buy like 2 or 3 packs. Say you're a freshman and you know you're going to want 3 videos. You can get up to a 30% discount. One video is $1,000. And so that might sound like a lot, but when you consider that my competitors, I'm not going to name any of those scouting services, just for them to send out your huddle taped coaches, that can be up to $3,000. So my goal is not to just reach the Beverly Hills parents. My goal is for this to be a product that every family can afford. And so I'd like to bring that number down. Right now it's 1,000. And then for these large group events, I'm flexible. And so we worked out a lower number for this event, but we have donors covering the cost. So these kids that are going to be at this event in New Orleans and the ones that we served in Chicago paid exactly $0 for these videos.
Explain to me how your Chicago event went. How successful was it?
We loved it. We rented out arguably the top gym in the world. It's up in a skyscraper in Chicago. We had a connection through one of my partners, and we had donors cover the cost. We got a discounted rate in the gym, and we brought in the top 20 unsigned kids in the state. We had over 50 college coaches there, and we were able to get kids seen by D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO colleges, JUCOs, and it was a big success. We had a lot of live scrimmaging. We measured their wingspan, things like that, their agility, and we got some really great feedback from college coaches because, again, we're serving kids by making the lives of the college coaches easier. So if the college coach, normally he might have to travel to 10 different places to see 10 kids. But if you could put 10 kids or 20 kids in one place, those kids are going to get seen more because the college coach just says to go to one place. So the coaches loved it because we put all of these, qualified kids in one place for them. And so the kids got a lot of views from that because we had so many coaches. We made life easy for the coaches, and it gave the kids more exposure.
I see a lot of kids these days. They are kind of sort of their own PR team. They have their friends that's recording while they're practicing, and
right.
It's awesome. But everyone don't have friends that's doing that,
right?
Recording and editing the videos and sending the videos out to different colleges. I mean, there's ways to get it done, but to see you creating a package like that and have multiple, I didn't know it was. I thought that was just only for D1, but it's also for JUCO.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, Arch Manning, God love him, he doesn't need my help. Arch Manning doesn't need my help. He's got an entourage.
Correct.
I'm out to help the kids that are, we're not talking about, I would love to place kids at UT or LSU. But my mission is to get the kid who may or may not go to college, get him get him some scholarship money at, I don't know, does LSU Shreveport have football? I don't know if they do or not, but, let's get a kid a scholarship at Rust College. Let's get a kid at Nicholls State.
Right.
There's so many. There are 363 Division I programs for basketball, at least. There are over 900 non-Division I schools in the country. And so we fixate on these D1 opportunities. Meanwhile, kids can get their school paid for at over 1,000 other schools from D2, D3, NAIA, or JUCO. And so, yeah, this is about so much more than just getting kids to that D1 level. This is about getting kids in the best situation for them, whether that's D1 or not.
How long is the camp?
4 hours. We're going to go from, I think, 7 to 11 in the morning. And, yeah, really quick, we're going to have a mixture of speed drills, some one-on-one time, some measurement time, and then I'm going to interview the kids throughout the day. So pretty quick, but it'll be worth it. Yes, sir.
Hey, man. This is awesome. This is awesome.
We need the community support, and I hope this isn't the last time I'm coming to New Orleans to do this. I would love to keep coming back. I'm going to go wherever there's a need. I would like to keep going back, and so yeah, this is mostly Carver kids, but I'd love for somebody on the Saints to sponsor 20 kids at the other public schools or private schools, wherever in New Orleans. So hopefully this won't be the last.
So that'd be $20,000, right? Since each kid's 1,000, right? So if you say it's someone to sponsor 20 kids, how much is that?
So we worked out a lower rate for this. I think we cut it in half or something for this, especially this is a ministry, Surge is just getting back going. So yeah, if you could tee up $500 a kid, and you're a ministry or a school or a church, and you want to throw a similar event, my email is gordon@3dathlete.me. I'd love to talk to you. What better opportunity, what better proposition to give a donor than, hey, do you want to change a kid's life?
Right.
And so that's really what we're doing, is taking this to donors and saying, hey, we're not talking about adding
Right.
bells and whistles. We're trying to give them a tool that they can use to their own lives.
Right.
And so we've had donors that are excited about that, and I think once people see more of the fruit, they will be even more excited to support this. So I'm really looking forward to continuing to prove that this is a need and that we can fill that need.
Correct. Yeah, it's definitely a need. And like I said, I pray everything go well. We're gonna do our part and make sure we share this to as many people as possible.
Thank
So
you.
it can be a successful event for you guys, so you can come back every year. But this is real awesome what you guys are doing by partnering together. We need teamwork in order for this to happen. Teamwork. No one can do anything alone. That's one thing I was just saying on the live a few minutes ago. We have to do it together, and I really appreciate you, brother. Honestly,
Yeah, thank you so much for caring. You guys don't understand. I've lived all over the country, and you know it's rare to see people care about local issues like this. So thank you so much for doing this show and for having all of us on. Us goofy guys, you know, they can't accept the Facebook Live in time. Just thanks for being patient with us, and thanks for giving us a platform.
Hey, man.
Yeah. We know when you're old, but you can't work the phone so good. That's fine. I'm the same way.
You know what? I think it had something to do with the fact that it was a page I was trying to accept it from, and so this is my personal account. So hopefully that next time I'll just use this account here. But hey, you guys have me back on. When I release I do this all-time 5 research project for every state. When I do the Louisiana one, and you guys want to come up with the best lineup in Louisiana basketball history, you have me back on and we'll talk about that, okay?
Hey, look, Gordon.
Oh, for sure. Anytime we'll come back.
Hey, I'm about to get the L. I've done through Georgia, A through G. And
hey, man.
I've done Alaska, Arkansas, Alabama. So when I do Louisiana, I expect you guys to have me back on.
Well, you know what, Gordon?
Just let us know when, man.
I'm gonna let you off in 1 second, but since you said something about basketball, knowing it's the playoff, you know what I mean? You know it's the playoff, Gordon. Just give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. You know the Lakers just lost. What? LeBron done? Is this the last we saw LeBron win a ring? We ain't seeing that no more?
I find it hard to believe that he would leave. Now, I would not be surprised if he takes a year off, lets his legs heal, watches Bronny at USC, so he gets to rest, he gets to watch his son, and then when he's draft eligible, I could see him guiding him and himself to the same team. Now, that's a rumor that I did not come up with. I read that out there, but I could see it. I mean, the man invests, what is it, like over $1 million in his body doing like advanced cryotherapy, and I don't know if he does the platelet replacement but I'm sure he's looking to give his legs a break, and why not extend his clock so that he can play with his son. But you know, I was sad to see Anthony Davis lose. I'm a big Chicago supporter, of course. Sad to see him go down, but man, the Nuggets are going to be that's a fascinating team. Who would have thought we'd have the Nuggets in the finals? That's amazing.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct. I never saw it. I did not pick them. I honestly thought they were going to get to the playoff and just wither away like they normally do. You know, so I was out, and that's why I'm saying I said Lakers in 6. I never ever thought it was going to be a sweep.
No.
On either side.
No. But the Nuggets are playing well together. Jokic he's doing things that nobody's ever done before. In fact, if you look at the BPM metric, that's box plus minus. So the average plus minus that you provide a team per 100 possessions, Jokic is actually higher than Michael Jordan. He's number 1 all time in that metric. And I get that it's just a stat, but what he's doing is special. Even though it doesn't look sexy, the numbers are sexy.
You're right. It doesn't say, bro. It's boring, But if you watch it and pay attention, it's so smart and methodical. It's like, dude, he's picking them apart.
Oh,
if
man.
you pay attention, he's in the center, passing it from the point guard to the power. It's like, what are you doing?
It's like
From
watching a
the point guard to the
polar bear who
power
can
forward.
dribble a basketball.
Dude,
He's a
it's
polar
like,
bear. I've never seen a guy go right, dribble right with his left hand, jump off the wrong foot, and then hit a jump hook without looking at the hoop. I've never seen that before.
shoot that
And it goes
way
in.
back here.
Yeah, and it goes in. I've never seen that.
Since we're on the topic, professional level,
Yes,
one
sir.
question. MJ or LB?
Okay, we got to remember I'm from Chicago now.
Oh,
So,
MJ or LB?
I mean, Michael Jordan, for sure. And here's why. Okay, LeBron,
That's awesome. That's all I need to know. MJ, that's all I'm
it's the
talking
difference between Optimus Prime and Megatron. Okay? Megatron's he's a bigger guy, he's a stronger guy, he's got more hardware, but Optimus Prime wins because he's got the X factor, he's got the leadership. In my mind, it's the same thing. LeBron's got better tools, but MJ was fierce is a nice way of saying it, and a borderline psychopath is the mean way of saying it. But you know, you never heard, oh, the Bulls were not playing up to their potential. They were scared of MJ. They played to their potential because they were afraid not to. And to me, that's the difference.
Right.
To me. But keep in mind, I'm super biased because I'm from Chicago. So.
you from Chicago.
Yeah, I'm
You
with
covered
you.
Chicago, but so you had a chance to look at Mike. We watched him, like I said, on the tube. You watched him in person. Who was the closest to Jordan that played in
Do you mean
the NBA?
Do you mean like physically? Do you mean visually? Do you mean leadership-wise? You got to be more specific.
Well, you know what?
Overall,
Like
That gut, that. You know what I mean? That
yeah.
it's me.
Visually, it's Kobe because he patterned his game after MJ. I mean, you've seen that compilation where they show, you know, Kobe copying his moves. I mean, he was out to mimic MJ. Same size, 6'6", with a big wingspan. They both, you know, had the capability to be impact defenders. Gosh, in terms of skill sets, yeah, Kobe, if you want to go back, Clyde the Glide, you know, but he was a more aggressive Clyde the Glide.
I heard that, and that's why I wanted to ask you about that. Seeing you say that, I want to say, what about old Clyde? You know what I mean? Because I heard he gave him this, like, off camera. They said Clyde used to give him the business. And that's why I was like, what they were saying, there was like 1A and 1B. See, I heard that from basketball players just watching it on YouTube. And that's why I asked you, because I heard that Clyde was close to Jordan, but I didn't see it because I grew up watching Kobe.
Right.
You know, so when you saying that, so that means there's some type of truth to this.
And you know, I hate to say it, but the proof, you know, Phil Jackson was interviewed. He did a rare interview last week with the Chicago podcast, and he was asked about that because he coached Kobe and Jordan and Shaq, and he said, "What's the difference?" And he said, "You know, MJ never lost in the finals, 6-0 in the finals." So I've got this. Look at this. I'm bringing a visual with me. Look at that. Wait.
Look out. We got visuals.
Can you see that?
Yes. 2-3 piece.
You know, look at the hardware difference there.
Jesus. You know what, God?
6 finals lost, 0 finals lost. Now, MJ did have other top 75 players that he played with. You know, he had there. Let's see. Rodman was named top 75. Pippen named top 75. Kukoc was named a Hall of Famer, mostly for his European achievements. But you could argue that MJ had a better supporting cast compared to LeBron's early days. But since then, LeBron's had way more All-Stars on his side and has gotten less done. So But again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
expect LeBron. LeBron's done it virtually scandal free. You know, he's married to his high school sweetheart, which I respect. He's playing. He's putting a statistical production out there at an age that we've never seen before, and doing it. You know, still dunking hard. And so, yeah, I respect him, but 6-0 in the finals. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, bro. Hey, look, like I said, man, I just want to get